And then we're going to look at the main vocals here, the verse vocal. I'm going to mute for now all the kind of effects and bits and chops that I've done and just play you the verse on its own. And then we'll also play it in raw. And then I'll show you what I did from start to finish on that to get the sound of the vocal.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
Okay, so that's the kind of finished sound of the main vocal, but that's without the ad-libs and without the kind of stutters and other chops and things that I've done on the track here. So yeah, I'm going to take everything off here, all the things that I've done. We'll go through them one by one and what they're all doing. So the first thing in the chain here is the RX mouth declick. This is to help suppress the kind of natural clicks and pops that come from an artist's mouth when they're performing. And there was quite a bit on this particular recording. Can happen for various reasons. So I'm using this to kind of clean the vocal up.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro. That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my...
That's just helping clean up the vocal before we do anything else. And then another part of the cleanup process, I'm using this D-Reverb Pro plugin from Waves. This is a great plugin for just taking out a little bit of the room noise. You know, oftentimes vocals are not recorded in an ideal space. And there might be a little bit of reflection going on in the room, creating some kind of phase issues and also some kind of low-end build-up and echoes that have come from around the room. So this helps to kind of reduce that.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt.
Not a big deal on this particular track, but I kept it in there because I thought it was just helping on some parts, some words and some frequencies. Then we have the first EQ, and this is basically a really simple EQ, just taking out the sort of super lows down here with a high pass filter. And then we're also dropping a little bit around the 200 kind of hertz range here. And then I'm boosting up a little bit in the high end, tiny bit up there. Just this is the main sort of cleanup EQ that I've used here, which I do before compression, just to get the vocal kind of sounding a little bit more clean and nice before we start compressing and things.
Man's breathing. That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
Very subtle, shouldn't really hear a massive difference from that. As I say, it's just more of a kind of corrective EQ before we start doing the more bigger and nicer adjustments like this right here. So this, I'm using the virtual mix rack by Slate, and there's three things within this, and basically a basic de-esser here, and we've got a nice compression going on here, some small EQ moves down here as well. First of all, I will show you the de-esser and what that's doing, and then we'll show what the other two things are doing after.
Thanks to Allah, man's breathing. That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red.
So very transparent. You'll see here I've got the mix knob down, so this is not doing a whole lot. It's just taking off the initial kind of sharp S's before we go into compression. And we've got the first compressor in the chain here.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
So you see straight away that's just adding a lot more kind of attitude and energy to the vocal, making it less dynamic, more upfront, more in your face, and adding a nice amount of level as well, just to push the vocal forward, make it more consistent in level. So yeah, that's you know, compression is going to be the most important tool really that you use on a vocal, particularly quite a dynamic vocal like this. Then we get into the first EQ here, and as you'll see, I'm just boosting a little bit in that high end here and the high mids. Touch here in the mids as well. Little reduction in the low mids as well.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah, didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed, hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
Very minor, very subtle, but just adding a little bit of a little touch of brightness, basically, that's all. So that's all the processing I did on the actual main channel here, as you'll see. And then I've got this going out to bus 12, which is my verse vocal bus or stack. So this outputs to bus 12 along with all the other things here in this track stack here. And then I've got more processing going on this actual bus, which is my verse bus, if you follow me. So the first thing, again, we're using Slate Virtual Mix Rack again. And we've got the Revival, which is a kind of sweetening EQ, which is adding a little bit of shimmer and thickness with that. We've got another compressor. And ignore this. This is just a kind of level to show me how loud the actual vocal is coming out of this. So we can ignore this. Let me turn these off and I'll bring them in one by one.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah didn't pierce my neck. Bury my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on Dean? Every day ducking them Shayarteen. I remember back when I lost my mind. You would've thought I was CeeLo Green. Sweat felt like Yom Kiyama, so I made that night where I could've got wet. Alhamdulillah didn't pierce my neck. Bury my bro.
Yeah, so first of all, the Revival plugin here, you'll hear it's adding a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of nice airiness on the high end with this shimmer knob here. It's just bringing out a nice little bit of brightness, and then also adding some nice kind of thickness in the low mids with the thickness dial here. And then this compressor, again, it's not doing a massive amount. It's just taming a little bit more of the dynamics, bringing it even more closer to you, more up front and more in your face. And this will make more sense when the instrumental's playing. In fact, let me play this with the instrumental and bring this compressor in and out, see if you can see what I'm saying.
Bury my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget. How can you say?
So when that's in, it just sits a little bit more above the beat and on top of the beat and in front of the beat, rather than being kind of more subdued and sunken into the instrumental, if that makes sense. After that, we're going into a de-esser, and I'm using the E2 de-esser here, which comes in the Slate bundle. This is my favorite de-esser. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see I use this on pretty much every song I work on. Doing quite a bit of reduction here, but then also mixing it down to kind of 50% with the wet dry dial here.
That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah didn't pierce my neck. Bury my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken, bro and tears got shed. My bro and tears got shed. My bro and tears got shed. My bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
So that's really helping to tame the sibilance and the high end, which is kind of getting a bit too much. And also we're going to add to that later when we add more brightness onto this vocal. So I like to kind of bring those S's down so that they're even a little bit too low. And then we bring all of the brightness of the vocal up later on, like here with this Pro MB plugin, how I'm bringing the high end up. And then hopefully it will kind of all even out and balance out nicely. So I kind of take away the S's with the de-esser and then raise the whole high end all together in one, which helps to kind of keep the S's tame and the sibilance in control, but also keep the vocal nice and bright as well.
Man's breathing. That night where I could've got wet, Alhamdulillah didn't pierce my neck. Bury my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget.
Yeah, so this is a multiband compressor plugin basically, and as you'll see, I'm kind of boosting here in the high mids and also in the high end here. But you'll see that there's some compression going on. So once the high mids or the high end hit a certain threshold, this is compressing and taming it and bringing it under control. But it's also adding a nice bit of presence to the vocal as well. Let me play it from down here.
How can you say I ain't on Dean? Wagwan, my you, are you dumb? Been praying for about 5 years, and wallahi I ain't missed one. But I'm still trying to skirt those demons on the M1 BM speeding, altercation and situation.
Yeah, so we're getting much closer now to a finished sound. But as I mentioned earlier in the intro, I really wanted to add attitude and kind of force to these vocals. And for that, we used saturation or distortion with this FabFilter Saturn plugin. This has become one of my favorite plugins when I want to do this. It's a multi-band exciter or saturation plugin basically, and you can pick different saturation for each band here. And this really helps, as I say, to just add attitude and a little bit of bite, force and power to a vocal when you think that's lacking or when you think you need more of it. So first of all, I'll play this without and with, and hopefully you'll see what I'm getting at here, and then we'll take a look at how I actually achieved that sound.
That night where I could've got wet. Alhamdulillah, didn't piss my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I've done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on Dean? Every day ducking them shayateen.
So hopefully you see what I'm saying. It's kind of adding a little hint of distortion and oversaturation to the vocal. And in solo, maybe it doesn't sound amazing without the delays and the reverbs as well that we're about to get to, and without the instrumental. But in the context of the song, when everything was done, I really liked what this was adding to the track. It's adding that personality and that little bit of kind of attitude to the vocal that we're looking for. So what did I do? So I've used, on the low end here, I've used heavy saturation setting with quite a bit of drive, but then I've also turned the mix knob down. So this is important. You don't want to have this mix knob all the way up if you're adding a lot of saturation. I'm just kind of blending it in here with the mix knob. Then in the mid-range here, I'm on the warm tape setting. Again, quite a bit of drive, but the mix is down here on 29%. Then on the high end, again, we're on heavy saturation. Mix is a little bit higher. Let me show you what happens if I turn this mix up further.
Neck, bay my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I've done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on Dean? Every day ducking them shayateen. I remember back when I lost my mind.
So when you turn it up too hot, too far, you see you're getting much more of an affected vocal. I didn't want it to be obvious that we're adding the distortion. It's just to kind of add an undertone of attitude, if you get what I'm saying. So that's where we left that. And now we're going to take a look at reverbs and delays and things that I added. But before that, let's just play a little bit. Let's play a bit of the second verse with the instrumental so you can see where we're at right now.
How many times have I prayed my salah? I can't go sleep without Surah Falak. And then man tried call me a jahil, but we both know that it's cause of my colour. Had me thinking the deen was evil. Had to go Senegal to find my people. Out in Medina, bites with a vibe so live, with a vibe so peaceful. But these pagans getting me vexed. If I reply, I might go viral. Cause I punch man up like Moses. Then I'm dipped to my G's in Cairo. Now everybody wanna ride this wave. Got me out here feeling like Noah. But my
so you see when I bypass those, just how much of a difference all of that has made all together. So now we're going to take a look at the delay and the reverb that I added to this vocal. And these are down here on bus 21, 23, 24, and 27. And these are down here. So I've got a slap delay. I've got an eighth note delay. There's a little short reverb. There's a long reverb here as well, but I think I'll use that only on the ad-libs, which we'll get to later. And then I've got this air bus here as well, which we'll get to in a sec. So the first thing, let's just turn on this slap delay, see what this is doing.
Breathing. That night where I could've got wet. Alhamdulillah, didn't piss my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I've done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on Dean? Every day.
Yeah, so you'll see that's a really tight, kind of short delay that I've added to the vocal here just to kind of put it in a space more than anything. This is not really super audible when everything's in the mix, but it just, again, adds a little bit of attitude and puts him in a space as well. So the first thing I did to create this delay here was an EQ, and this is basically a high pass and a kind of low pass there. So we're filtering out the highs and the lows from the delay. Then we're using this repeater plugin, and the milliseconds is down here at 148. Got it on this spread as well, so there's a little bit of stereo movement in the delay. And then after that, we're just compressing the hell out of it as well. So let me play this slap delay in solo and you'll see what all of these things are doing.
That night where I could've got wet. Alhamdulillah, didn't piss my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I've done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on Dean? Every day ducking them shayateen. I remember back when I lost my mind. You would've thought I was CeeLo Green. Sweat felt like Yo Mukiyama, so I'm in Senegal doing Ziyara, man.
Hopefully that all makes sense. It's quite a simple slap delay, really. There's many different ways of creating that. It's just the way that I kind of have it in my template, and then I sort of tune it from there. The next thing is an eighth note delay. So this is a much longer delay.
Breathing. That night where I could've got wet. Alhamdulillah, didn't piss my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed. Hearts got broken and eyes turned red. I can never sell my soul for a check. I don't take credit and I don't do debt. So I'm praying that I get that rahmah.
So that's the delay in solo there. You'll see here again, I'm filtering out the highs and the lows. And I'm just using the simple Logic Echo delay here on eighth note. Feedback around there in the middle somewhere. I'm also sidechain compressing this particular delay just with the main vocal. So the main vocal is being put into this compressor, which is actually compressing the delay. So it's just pushing down and ducking on the delay when the vocal's playing so that it kind of comes up more in the gaps and where the space is.
So I'm praying that I get that rahmah, cause I done things that I can't forget. How can you say I ain't on deep?
So as you'll see, when the vocal's actually playing, this is compressing the delay, and then obviously in the gaps where there's no vocal, it's coming up. So the delay sticks out a little bit more in the gaps. Not an essential part of creating this delay, but just something I tend to do just to not create too much kind of clashing and you know, so they're not fighting for the same space as much. And then I'm using the doubler plugin as well on this delay, which just kind of spreading it out, putting it left and right, creating a stereo feel to the delay there. And then after that, we've got a small amount of reverb as well, just to kind of soften it and place it further back. Let me play this just with that delay on.
On the M1 BM speeding, altercations and situations, had to give thanks to Allah man's breathing. That night where I could've got wet, alhamdulillah didn't pierce my neck. Bay my bro and tears got shed.
So I'm stopping it there so you can kind of hear the little tail of that delay. Pretty straightforward. After that, we've got a slight reverb. Now, I don't like to add too much reverb to fast, particularly fast rap hip hop songs like this, but it just, again, it just helps to put it in a space. You know, it just helps to add some ambience to the vocal and just gives it a better sound, in my opinion.
But if I reply, I might go viral, cause I punch man up like Moses, then I'll dip to my G's in Cairo. Now everybody wanna ride this wave, got me out here feeling like Noah, but my ship don't take no snakes, pigs, all of that get dashed over. Pray to Raqqa, then I make Toba, fly to Dhaka, then I hit Kola, man can't.
So these are the three things I use to create this reverb. The first thing I've done is actually added a de-esser before the reverb, which is just helping not to send too much of the S's and the sibilance into the reverb so that we don't get that kind of splashy reverb tail, which kind of distracts from the main vocal. So I didn't want that to happen, so I'm de-essing even more going into this reverb. Then I'm using the VOCALS Classics, kind of medium decay time. Turn down the high end here and the mid on the EQ there. Spreading it out with the width. And then after that, it goes into this final EQ where I'm just removing a little bit of the mud in the low end. Don't want too much of that coming through in the reverb tail. And then I'm also reducing some of the high end. Again, probably just to reduce that kind of splashiness that you can get. Let me play this reverb on its own.
Cause I punch man up like Moses, then I'll dip to my G's in Cairo. Now everybody wanna ride this wave, got me out here feeling like Noah, but my ship don't take no snakes, pigs, all of that get dashed over. Pray to.
So that's all the reverbs and delays that I used on the main vocal, and they're also the same ones used on the chorus vocal. But then I've also got this down here on bus 27, which is my air bus. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you'll see I use this on a lot of songs. Not every song, but some of the songs where I really want that kind of extra little bit of high-end saturation or air coming into my my vocal sound. And for this, I'm basically using this Morphoda plugin by Waves, and this is kind of adding like almost like a ghost vocal, like another vocal on top of the main vocal, but just the high end of it. So let me play it in solo. So really weird on its own, but it just, again, it kind of just takes the high end, morphs it, puts it even higher, and then kind of, I kind of blend this in with the main vocal, and together I just think it works well.
Then I'll dip to my G's in Cairo. Now everybody wanna ride this wave, got me out here feeling like Noah, but my ship don't take no snakes, pigs, all of that get dashed over. Pray to Raqqa, then I make Toba, fly to Dhaka, then I hit Kola. Man can't chat about what I know, cause you'll be thinking, my oh gosh.
So that's all the processing on this lead vocal here. We're going to dive into the chorus vocal quickly, and then we're going to take a look at all these effects here and what I did to kind of add even more energy and excitement to this mix that it really needed. And then we'll look at the ad-libs as well.